do a great job on free throws. I don't know. I think we missed two. We missed all three of them free throws. I don't know. Missed 2 or 3 1 and 1. We missed all three of them. And those are again, those become turnovers. And those become turnovers.
Rick, you mentioned the getting a lead and throwing lifelines out there. That's something you talked about quite frequently in the past couple months. Throwing lifelines out. What do you do at this point to clean that up in your head past couple months? Throwing lifelines out. What do you do at this point to clean it up in your head past
clean it up.
couple months?
I think again,
What do you do at this
we'll
point
keep
to
talking about it. Clean it up. It's where we'll keep managing the game. Certainly, again, you can't take anything away. Managing the game. They created some of that because they are a team that's really created some of that because they just like we did. I told her guys, I've seen them do teams like what you did. I told her guys, what we were able to see in the first half. I mean, I've watched it, and what we were able to see in the first half. But I'm a little bit older, been around. But I'm a little bit older, been around. 15 minutes, you come back. And I thought Josiah was terrific from a mental standpoint with our guys. I mean, he did some great things talking some time out. I mean, even told some guys, you can't shoot that ball. That's not a good shot. Even, you sat on it. That's what, again, that's not a good shot. I thought, through that time there where we were struggling, I thought, for his leadership was terrific. Again, obviously, got foul trouble with his leadership. But I think a big point in the game that we went back with Brandon and Jonas, and they were trying to go inside. And Jonas was big, and they were trying to go inside and go back to our turnovers, and they were getting offensive rebounds early in the game. We were, and they turned that part of the game around. But Jonas and Brandon's minutes were huge that last time they were in there together.
Rick, with Kennedy, why does he look so comfortable from 3-point and so uncomfortable at the free throw line?
I don't know. That's a good question. He's got that right now. I think he's in his own head with it. He stayed after yesterday and worked and shot free throws, and you watch him shoot. You're like, there's nothing wrong there. But he's going to have to, that's something he's going to have to work through mentally. It is, but he's capable of doing it. Like you said, if you can shoot threes, but you want to, it's a whole different shot. I mean, I'd like to sit there and say it's easy. I mean, you think about it, you're running up and down the floor, your heart rate's up, and all at once the game stopped and could take 30 seconds or something. So I think he's going to have to figure out a routine to where he quietens himself down a little bit, and whatever it is, he's going to have to really trust his routine.
Is it different going to this SEC tournament, having played basically the top of the league the last 3 weeks, so at least the top 4 in the standings?
Granted, it seems like it's been forever since we played Arkansas, and it was just a couple of weeks ago. I think it's the season gets it runs together so much, and you really are just thinking day to day with it. But I thought the way go back and look, when we started out the season, we had to go to LSU and Alabama, 2 teams that were picked up there, but then all at once, Auburn puts together a great season, and Arkansas, I mean, they've done a terrific job, but I don't know. It's been hard. I can tell you. I think we've been able to learn from a lot of what I think we'll learn from today, and we need to, because now you're in tournament play. If you have let-ups and keep throwing lifelines at the wrong time, it ends your season. And so I hope our guys can realize they've had a really nice preseason. A regular season. I don't even know where we ended up with a seed. I mean, you think about it, that's again, they should be complimented for that, but now we need to go and see if we can, and again, we do have to get better. You guys saw that today. I mean, yeah, we showed that we can play great basketball, but then when things aren't going well, we've got to understand, again, you always have to understand what goes into winning, but you've got to know what goes into losing. Turnovers, non-rebound, and all kinds of things, and we've got to understand that when we've got to lead on people.
Did the team's 3-point shooting surprise you today, just after how they did last time?
Knock on wood, we early in the year, we shot the ball well, and then we went through some laws with it. I think every team does that, but when we take good shots, when we take rhythm shots, I've said all year, I think we're a good 3-point shooting team. Are they all going to go in? No, but when we get looks and we take the right ones, and we don't get anxious, we can make threes. But still, we talk about how important rebounding is. I mean, I like to think we're going to make them all. In the first half, I think we missed 2, but the numbers are there for a reason, and they normally pan out that way. But when our guys are open and take good shots, we feel good about it.
Hello, Coach. So I was just wondering, based on how the last game went with Arkansas, where you had faced a lot of tough defense in your previous matchup, and then this matchup, now your team has scored 78 points. I was curious to what kinds of plays you're able to drop in that first half to get a lot of successful looks from 3-point range. I was wondering what you guys look back on and changed from the previous matchup to this matchup.
Well, I would not say a whole lot, because we felt like about a month ago we had settled into the offensive package that we like, and we tweak a few minor things. But honestly, the difference is we made shots. I can go back and tell you, up there, we went through a period in the game where Santiago had 2 wide open shots. Yeah, he had one where he had a chance to dribble the ball and shoot it. Nobody, they had gotten confused on defense. It didn't go in. Today we made a couple that they defend well, but Eric Musselman does a great job. I mean, the way he continues to work to put his team together, it's like him putting together a puzzle some ways with. And Note and Williams they're a hard out. And but up there, I thought neither team really was able to get into an offensive rhythm. There was a lot of fouls in that game. There was a lot today. Again, the difference today was our post guys got in foul trouble. Up there, our guards got in foul trouble, and we had to work through it. And our fouls were silly fouls today. We had a lot of silly, again, throwing those lifelines out there where guys in the play at the end where Zakai tried to go for a seal. I mean, Note's too good a player to let him get a run to start. But I would, and they shot the ball well today too. I mean, up there, I don't even remember how many threes both teams made, but they had some open looks up there that, because we showed them. We missed some layups up there at the rim. They did too. I mean, we showed where they missed a couple point blank layups, and layups that you'd think that both teams would make. And but I think it goes back. Both teams are, they're defensive minded first, which I think that's pretty obvious. But like I said earlier, when the shots go in, it all looks pretty. It does, even when you're not doing anything particular on offense. We wanted to make sure that we didn't do what we did up there, charging. I mean, that was a big emphasis up there, and we wanted to pick up a couple of charges, which we did. But we tried to make Williams have to defend some if we could, because he's such a. I mean, he does a lot standing there in the middle of that lane like he does, and so we had to try to occupy him as much as we could.
Rick, I was going to ask you about the fouls too. I think Arkansas took almost 33s and still shot 27 free throws. And the foul trouble you had over there, the foul trouble here, is some of that a product of the way Arkansas plays, or is that just something else?
It is. It is. They put pressure on you. They both inside, outside, and some of those were from rebounding fouls. And yeah, but some of our fouls were really, you can't make them. Like I told again, halftime, they're going to get aggressive. They're going to get going downhill. They're going to try to put fouls on you so they can get to the free throw line early, which they did. And again, that's terrific coaching on their part. But again, we told our guys that it's going to be that simple. Can we guard them when they put their heads down? And which we didn't early. Then we were trying to, again, we did not, our ball screen defense, when they made that pushback, was non-existent in terms of letting them work the middle of the floor. And then we had to help. Our tags were too deep and they were kicking out for those open threes. And then at one point in time, when we were able to clean that up a little bit, it turned into where we didn't do a great job rebounding the ball. And but some of our fouls were fouls that you can't commit.
What makes Josiah Jordan-James so good at defense? He can guard the 4, he can guard the 3, he can guard the 2, and he gets a lot of deflections too. So,
well, one makes it good. I think he understands what goes into winning and losing. I think he understands it probably more than anybody on our team, and he's willing to do the dirty work. He's willing, and he's got the ability that can guard anybody, all 5. But since he's been here, I mean, he's guarded every position on the floor. He's played every position on the floor, but he offensively, he's worked so hard. His shot is something he's worked on as hard as any player we've ever coached. But he is the ultimate team player. He's going to sacrifice and do whatever he has to do, putting his body out there. He's going to do it night in and night out. And when you could clearly tell the momentum had changed and we were back on our heels. His offensive plays, shots and free throws, that was a big lift right there to keep pushing it back up a little bit. And we knew again they would make a run when we felt we'd make a run, but then it got down where, you know, we kept putting ourselves in a tough situation because of just really poor offense.
Rick, VJ didn't go through senior day. Why was that the decision for him? And have you guys talked about what's next for him?
You know, again, we discussed everything with him. He still has another year left and he's not sure, you know, he'll have options if he wants to. Certainly we hope he'll always be a part of a program, but as you know, with the rules today that he can choose to go somewhere else and play. But and again, one way or the other, you know, we love him. You know, his teammates love him. But I mean, think about it. Josiah James is only a sophomore technically, and we're in a today where there's options for players, and like I said, we love VJ. We love him being part of a program, but he chose he didn't want to do it. All right. Thank you, guys.